The Zephyrian war fleet materialized from hyperspace with the precision of a clockwork mechanism, their crystalline ships gleaming like deadly jewels against the star-speckled void. Admiral Crixtal flexed his four arms in satisfaction as the scanners confirmed what their intelligence had promised: a single isolated human outpost orbiting the barren moon of Kepler 442c. Pathetic, he chittered to his bridge crew, mandibles clicking with amusement. The humans place a mining station. Here, with barely 300 souls, thinking distance will protect them from the inevitable. His compound eyes shifted through the spectrum, analyzing the modest collection of structures that comprised Outpost Genesis. Begin the assault. Let this be a message to their kind. Nowhere is beyond our reach. The attack commenced with surgical precision. Plasma cannons carved through the outpost's defensive grid like heated blades through silk. The humans' return fire was sporadic, desperate, exactly what Crixtal expected from an isolated mining colony. Within 2 standard cycles, the outpost's shields had collapsed, and Zephyrian boarding pods pierced the station's hull like metallic parasites. Dr. Sarah Chen pressed her back against the bulkhead as the corridor filled with the acrid smell of melted metal. Through the emergency lighting's red glow, she could see the jagged hole where the alien pod had breached. The mining outpost had never been designed for war. It was a place of discovery, where humans pushed the boundaries of known space in search of rare minerals and scientific knowledge. Dr. Chen! Marcus Webb, the station's security chief, appeared at her side, his face grim beneath his tactical helmet. We've lost sections C through F. The creatures, they're unlike anything in our databases. 4 arms, exoskeletons, some kind of hive mind coordination. Sarah nodded, her scientific mind automatically cataloging the information, even as her heart hammered against her ribs. Have you managed to get a distress signal out? Marcus's expression grew darker. That's just it, Doc. The signal went out before they hit us, but the nearest human fleet is 3 weeks away at best. He paused, listening to chatter in his earpiece. They're herding us toward the central hub. I think they want prisoners. The, Zephyrians had indeed taken prisoners. Crixtal stood before the assembled humans in the outpost's main hangar, studying them with the detached interest of an entomologist examining insects. They were so fragile, bipedal, with their internal skeletons and soft skin. How such weak creatures had managed to spread across multiple star systems remained a mystery to him. I am Admiral Crixtal of the Hegemony's Third War Fleet, he announced, his voice translated through universal speakers. You have the honor of being the first human settlement to witness our expansion into this sector. Your deaths will serve as a warning to your species. Abandon these systems or face extinction. Dr. Chen stepped forward, ignoring Marcus's restraining hand on her arm. You don't understand what you're doing, she said, her voice steady despite her fear. This isn't just a mining outpost, it's a research station. The minerals we extract here, they're not for industry. Crixtal's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. Spare me your human deceptions. We know exactly what this place is. A simple extraction facility on the edge of nowhere. No, Sarah insisted, pulling out a small crystalline sample from her pocket. The mineral caught the light strangely, seeming to pulse with an inner radiance. This is why we're here. This is what we've been sending back to Earth for the past 2 years. The alien admiral's compound eyes focused on the crystal, and for the first time since the attack began, he felt a flicker of uncertainty. The mineral was unlike anything in the Zephyrian archives. It seemed to bend space around itself, creating tiny gravitational anomalies. Quantium X, Dr. Chen continued, her voice gaining strength. A stable form of exotic matter that can manipulate space-time itself. Every gram we've mined has been shipped back to Earth through the most secure channels the human government possesses. She met the alien's gaze directly. You wanted to send a message to humanity. Congratulations, Admiral. You just sent one. 3 weeks later, Krixtal learned the true meaning of human fury. The first wave appeared without warning. Sleek human dreadnoughts that materialized from hyperspace, not in the conventional blue-white flash of standard FTL, but in impossible spirals of bent space-time. The ships moved wrong, their hulls rippling with the same strange energy that had emanated from the mineral sample. Impossible, Krixtal breathed as his sensors struggled to track vessels that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Humans don't possess this technology. But they did now. The Quantium X that Outpost Genesis had been mining for 2 years had revolutionized human space-time manipulation technology. What the Zephyrians had assumed was a simple mining operation had actually been humanity's first tentative steps toward mastering the fundamental forces of the universe. The human fleet didn't just arrive, it manifested. Ships phase-shifted through Zephyrian defensive positions, their weapons firing projectiles that traveled through folded space to strike from impossible angles. The crystalline beauty of the hegemony's warships became brittle sculpture against the reality-bending assault of human engineering. Admiral Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, her eyes cold as winter storms, as she watched the Zephyrian fleet crumble. The reports from Outpost Genesis had reached Earth just as the first successful Quantium X drives came online. The timing had been fortuitous. Admiral, her tactical officer reported, the alien flagship is attempting to surrender. Vasquez nodded slowly. Put me through to their commander. Krixtal's image appeared on the main screen, his once proud bearing now deflated with defeat. Human Admiral, we were unaware of your true capabilities. The hegemony seeks terms. You attacked a research station, Vasquez interrupted, her voice cutting through the transmission like a blade. You murdered scientists, miners, people whose only crime was pushing the boundaries of knowledge. You wanted to send a message to humanity about your power. She leaned forward, and Krixtal could see something in her eyes that chilled his ichor. Not anger, but calculation. Cold, precise, utterly human determination. Message received, Admiral. Here's our response. The Quantium X enhanced weapons, fired once more, and the last of the Zephyrian fleet dissolved into constituent atoms scattered across the cosmic wind. In the aftermath, as rescue ships tended to the survivors of Outpost Genesis, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in her rebuilt laboratory, holding another sample of the strange mineral that had changed everything. She thought about the aliens' assumption that humans were weak, isolated, easily crushed. They had made a fundamental error in their calculations. They had seen the outpost as an endpoint, humanity's farthest reach into the void. In reality, it had been a beginning. Every gram of Quantium X shipped back to Earth had been another step toward something the aliens couldn't comprehend, a species that turned every setback into a stepping stone, every challenge into an opportunity to transcend their limitations. Humanity hadn't just been mining exotic matter, they had been mining the future itself, and now that future had arrived, carried on ships that danced between dimensions, wielded by a species that had just learned to bend the universe to their will. The Zephyrian hegemony had sought to crush an isolated outpost and instead had awakened something that would reshape the galaxy. They had wanted to send a message to humanity. Humanity had sent one back. The cosmos would never be the same.